US President Donald Trump has once again sparked global attention with his latest remarks on Iran, claiming that Tehran is under tremendous pressure and is desperate to reach an agreement with the United States of America. Speaking at a large gathering at Mount Rushmore during the celebrations marking America's 250th Independence Day, Donald Trump said, "We knocked the hell out of Iran. They are trying to settle, they want to settle so badly, and we gave them a week off for a funeral because we are nice." His comments came as Iran officially began a 6-day state funeral for its slain Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Donald Trump's statement has quickly become a major talking point as it coincides with one of the most significant events in Iran's recent history. Thousands of mourners have gathered in Tehran in order to pay their final respects to Khamenei, who was killed during the opening phase of the US-Israel military strikes on Iran earlier this year. The funeral, delayed for several months because of the conflict and heightened security concerns, is expected to conclude on July 9, with his burial in Mashhad, his hometown and one of the holiest cities in Iran. The ceremonies are expected to draw millions of mourners along with the delegations from several nations, making it one of the largest state funerals in the region. During his speech, Donald Trump not only defended the recent military action against Iran, but also claimed that the country had no option but to negotiate with Washington. According to Donald Trump, the American strikes had significantly weakened Iran's position, forcing its leadership to seek a diplomatic solution. His remarks were met with loud cheers from the audience, reflecting strong support from his political base. And this is not the first time that Donald Trump has targeted Iran with strong rhetoric. In a recent interview, he claimed that Iran's economy was collapsing under severe inflation and financial distress. He stated that the country was experiencing nearly 300% inflation and struggling economically. Donald Trump also suggested that if diplomatic progress continues, the United States could eventually export food supplies such as corn, wheat and soya beans to Iran through American farmers, claiming that the Iranian people urgently need these essential commodities. Iran, however, has strongly rejected Donald Trump's comments as Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Ghalibaf criticized the US President, accusing him of misrepresenting Iran's situation while ignoring America's own domestic challenges. He argued that millions of Americans continue to rely on food assistance programs and urged Washington to address its internal issues before making comments about Iran. Iranian officials have maintained that the country remains committed to defending its sovereignty and will not negotiate under pressure. And despite the sharp exchange of statements, diplomatic engagement between the two countries has not completely stopped. Indirect negotiations between US and Iranian officials are continuing through mediators in Doha, Qatar. According to the officials familiar with the talks, the latest discussions have also focused on maritime security, regional stability and financial issues, including the possible release of frozen Iranian assets. While negotiators have described the talks as showing positive progress, significant differences remain, particularly over Iran's nuclear program. US Vice President J.D. Vance has also indicated that discussions on Iran's nuclear activities will likely take place in the later stages of the negotiations, suggesting that the current dialogue remains in its early phase. Officials from both the sides are expected to resume talks after the completion of Ayatollah Khamenei's funeral ceremonies later this month. Meanwhile, Iran's funeral ceremonies have attracted widespread international attention, and thousands of mourners dressed in black gathered at Tehran's Grand Musalla complex, as senior political and military leaders paid tribute to the late Supreme Leader. The funeral procession will travel through the holy city of Qom before moving to Iraqi cities of Najaf and Karbala. On June 9, Khamenei will be laid to rest with full state honors at the Imam Reza Shrine in Mashhad. Delegations from several countries, including India, Russia, China and Pakistan, are visiting various stages of ceremonies. Back in the United States, Donald Trump also used the occasion to speak about domestic politics, claiming that America's identity is under attack from radical forces. He alleged that there have been repeated attempts to erase the country's history and weaken its national spirit. Calling for unity ahead of the landmark independence celebrations, Donald Trump urged Americans to remain proud of their heritage and defend the country's values. And as funeral ceremonies continue in Iran and diplomatic negotiations remain underway behind the closed doors, global attention will remain focused on the next steps taken by both Washington and Tehran. While leaders on both the sides continue exchanging sharp public statements, indirect talks are still offering a possible path towards reducing tensions. And whether those negotiations eventually produce a lasting agreement or lead to another phase of confrontation remains one of the biggest international questions in the weeks ahead.
2 world wars, the Cold War, left America's enemies in the depths of history. We beat Venezuela in one day, and we knocked the hell out of Iran. They're dying to settle. They want to settle so badly. We gave them a week off for a funeral because we're nice. True. For 250 years, the entire...
That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel.